Hello, if you're watching this video, it's probably because I want you to use Trello with me. What is Trello? Well, in its simplest forms, Trello is a project management system that multiple people can use synchronously or asynchronously on a project, an idea, and be able to organize their thoughts. Makes it a lot easier than just bouncing emails back and forth or really trying to use a spreadsheet or some other kind of sticky notes that are a little bit more clunky, as you see in the description here. So it's a little bit easier for me just to show you what it's all about. So if we decide to use Trello on our project, you'd get into an interface that looks something like this. So on the home page of Trello, they give this great example of if you were going to do a kitchen redesign. So you have these things called lists. So an ideas list, a to-do list, a doing list, and a done list. And inside of each of those lists, you have what are called cards. So the card would be populated with a title, and then you'd be able to put those in maybe the ideas side. Once you take an idea and you're ready to put it in a to-do column, you'd be able to just drag it right into the to-do list, and so on and so forth until you get into the done column. The one thing that's nice about these cards is when you click on a card, you're going to get to an interface that looks something similar like this. You'll be able to add a description, attachments, checklists, add members to that particular card, add labels, due dates. So it makes it very, very excellent process to be able to process a lot of information without just sending emails back and forth. So the best way to really show this off is give you an example. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with my Gmail account. Makes it a little easier for me just to tie it to there. And then you'll be able to see my boards. So in this particular example, I don't have as many boards as some of my other email accounts, but in this one, you have what are called your boards and organizations. So when you have an organization, you're able to create a board and be able to do a lot with that particular board. In this example, I'm going to use my ITB board. It's a committee I sit on. And in this particular instance, we're talking about how we can implement a particular policy on email on campus. And so we had the provost come in and he wanted the ITB to give some suggestions on how we can implement a process in this particular email policy in the interim and the long term. So how I wanted to do is set up a board, and we created some lists. We have a brainstormed ideas, liked interim ideas, liked long-term ideas, and finally the official ITB suggested ideas. I also added another list here of documents and files that we may be able to work on throughout this project. So the basic idea is you'll go in and you'll start in your brainstormed ideas. So anybody that has access to this board will be able to log in and see this, and you can add cards. So I've already added 2 cards, and I'll go ahead and add another one right now as an example. You click on the add card, and in this instance I'm wanting to put in if it's an interim idea first or a long-term idea. So I'll just go ahead and put long-term at the beginning of this one, and then I'll just say idea just for now. Once you get the idea in there, you'll just hit add. So now I have another card in this particular list. And so the idea would be is we add a lot of these brainstormed ideas in there. Now you don't put the whole idea in the card itself, you'll literally click on the card and now it's going to open up all the information that you want to associate with the card. So we can add a description here, go ahead and put a description in, hit that save button. Maybe we want to do a checklist, so we can hit a checklist on this particular one. We'll just call it checklist in this example. And you can add various items in this checklist that we might want to do, things that we would want to accomplish. Once you add those items, you can have a little comment stream, so you may be able to comment on what's going on in that description or comment on what's going on in the checklist. And you have a variety of other options to add here, so you can add members to that particular checklist, so people that are part of this group. You can go ahead and add a due date to this particular assignment here, and even attachments. So maybe you have a document you're working on that you want to say, here's a little bit more fleshed out document that I want to attach to this particular item. Once you're done, you just click the X, and that particular description idea is attached to that card. So again, if you clicked into the card, anybody would be able to go in and make some edits on that particular card. So maybe they completed item 1. It's going to cross off item 1 and you're ready to go. And you'll be able to close it out. Now let's say that long-term idea was liked. Well, what you can do is you could pull it over here right into the long-term ideas and let it go. So now we know that that's a liked long-term idea, and we may be able to progress a little bit further, have a little bit more conversation on that. So we have to determine amongst ourselves as to which idea is going to progress forward into these various lists. If there's information that you wanted to post that you always wanted available, for example, the original call to action kind of email, I can post that there in a card. I put the whole email within the description. I also attached a PDF draft of that particular card. So it makes it a little bit easier to manage your projects along the way. You'd have a little activity description that can go on there. One thing that's nice about Trello is you have a little menu that you can look at, and you'll be able to see all the various actions that have been taken within your Trello dashboard. Also, as an administrator, you can add various people to your list, new boards, new organizations. This is actually just my management of all my boards, but in this list here, I can scroll to the top and add additional members. You'll be able to see all the members in this upper right-hand menu. And there's a few other things that you can do with your cards as far as filtering them, adding labels, stickers, and things. Now this is the free tier. There's a few things that you can do on the pro tier, but within the free interface, you have copious amount of abilities to manage a project. So hopefully this is a good introduction as to what can be accomplished in Trello, and I hope to see you in here soon. All right, have a nice day. Peace.